compositions and they might hesitate to include lesser known works. Over time, even audiences have come to expect familiar critiques from well-established composers and compositions, leading to leading musicians to prioritize compositions that resonate with listeners. Many lesser-known compositions are in rare or regional dialects, making them difficult for contemporary musicians and audiences to understand and appreciate them. Some of the lesser-known compositions are often set in rare talas and ragas, making them difficult for both musicians and audiences to connect with. Musical structure and lack of strong aesthetical appeal also plays a very significant role for the reason of neglect. Let us understand the scope. Repertoire trends show that performers tend to favor compositions by prominent composers like Sri Tyagaraja, Sri Dikshidhar, and Sri Shyama Shastri, which leads to the neglect of these lesser-known works. Second, there are musical and technical challenges. Lesser-known compositions may have complex ragas, rare talas, or unconventional structures that require deep study and more rehearsal time. Finally, the impact on performers and listeners is very significant. Performers miss out on the opportunity to explore a wide creative range, while listeners are deprived of the diversity and richness of the full Carnatic tradition. This limits the evolution of the art form and narrows the audience exposure to breadth of the Carnatic music. Let us look into the methodology. My reference books include The Great Composers of Carnatic Music written by Raghavendra, Beyond Trinity, Exploring Forgotten Composers of Carnatic Music written by Shankar V, Forgotten Melodies, The Lost Compositions of Carnatic Music, Srinivasan R. So in this slide, I have presented the findings from a survey conducted to explore the perspectives of both artists and audiences on lesser-known Carnatic compositions. The responses reveal some interesting insights. On the audience side, a majority expressed interest in listening to lesser-known compositions, especially when more explanation and background are provided. Interestingly, most of the audience mentioned that they enjoy lesser-known compositions primarily for the musical value, followed by the lyrical content. From the artist's perspective, the choice of composition is influenced first by concert themes, second, audience familiarity, and then personal interest. However, the biggest challenge they face include is lack of accessible notations and recordings, uncertainty about audience reception, and limited opportunities to perform these compositions. Importantly, 70% of the respondents said that they would be willing to include lesser-known compositions in their concerts, which reflects a positive outlook towards preserving and promoting. Repertoire analysis helps us understand why certain compositions dominate while others remain neglected. By studying patterns in concerts, music curricula, and artist preferences, we can definitely identify the gaps in Carnatic music tradition. Let us explore the key findings from the study. Findings reveal popular kritis are favored over lesser-known pieces, limiting the diversity of concert content. Next, audience demand for familiar kritis further reduce the chances of introducing lesser-known pieces. Limited efforts are being made by the music institutions to introduce and preserve rare compositions within structured learning. Encouraging themed concerts focused on rare compositions can increase exposure. Also, providing accessible notations, recordings, and promoting these pieces through digital platforms can help revive interest. As we conclude, let's talk about the key takeaways. Lesser-known compositions in Carnatic music hold immense historical and musical value, enriching the tradition with their unique structures and emotions. They reveal demands upon collective effort, archival research, digital documentation, and encouraging musicians to explore these works can help restore balance. By broadening our repertoire, we not only honor these composers, but also we enrich our own understanding and appreciation of Carnatic music. By bringing these works into mainstream concerts and pedagogy, we definitely ensure a richer and more diverse musical experience. I would like to thank thank ICIMPA for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present my article.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to thank my mentor, Dr. Vaisasu Balasubramanian, for guiding me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nityasri. It's a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Stay connected.
Sure, ma'am.
Next, I would like to Mosumi Pal. Are you there, Mosumi?
I'm Sakshi Yadav. She is not here, but she is trying to uh,
Okay,
join the meeting, but she is unable to.
okay. And anyone left with the presentation, please tell the name so that we can go ahead with your presentation.
Yeah, this is Shrikar and
Yes,
Satyavira.
yes, yes. We have already. Please go ahead with your presentation, please. What's your name,
Okay,
please? What's your name?
Shrikar.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
We will just share our.
Yeah.
Are you able to see the presentation? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Sure.
So, respected convener, panel members, esteemed scholars, and all the participants, I'm Shrikar.
I am Satyavira.
We shall give a short introduction, followed by the works. So, basically, we are presenting our findings of the study.
Your
Um,
presentation is looking for opposite, and we are not able
is
to.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, one second. I'll just correct it.
Ha. Please. Okay, you go ahead with the presentation. We are resolving it. Don't worry. You go ahead with the presentation. We are here.
All right. Are you able to see it better now?
Now we can see, I think. Yes, 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 it is there.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Then I'll start now.
sure, sure.
So we will be presenting the findings from our study, a comparative study of Veena fretting in the late medieval and early modern texts with that of the modern Karnataka music. So uh, our agenda is to basically have a quick introduction, and then we'll be introducing to the fretting systems of the Veena from the text Hridaya Prakasha and Chaturdandi Prakashika, and also the fretting system in the modern Karnataka music. And then we'll be presenting a small comparison of these fretting systems and presenting our summary of findings. So the question is, why did we study the fretting system? Because the position of the fret gives the actual pitch of the swarasthana. So by studying the fret position, we can actually reconstruct how the pitch of that swara would have sounded. Now we studied the texts Hridaya Prakasha and Chaturdandi Prakashika because these two seminal works had considerable influence on the modern pan-Indian as well as South Indian music, as stated by Sri Bhatkande and Satyanarayana. The method that we followed was to compute the fret position and therefore determine the pitch of the swara position. Now, music is a constantly evolving art form. Our hypothesis was that the pitch positions also would have evolved from the medieval period to now, and the pitches would have sounded quite different then as they sound now in comparison.
So, if we read the verses in Hridaya Prakasha, the first verse called Dhvanyavat Chinna Veena Madhye Taraka Samstitihi, which tells us that the Tarashadja is at the midpoint of the open string. Similarly, the fret positions of all the Shuddha Swaras of the octave are described below. When we decipher the pitch position of all the seven Shuddha Swaras, we get frequencies as shown here. The Shuddha Swaras corresponding to the Karahara Priya Mela or copy third. So now we are playing.
Okay, I'll just play that for you. The pitches as we deciphered. So as you can see, it corresponds to the Kafi third.
So the fret positions are described in Chaturdandi Prakashika, yields frequencies as given below. The Chaturdandi Prakashika uses the cycle of fifth and fourth. There are slight variations in swara position. In Hridaya Prakasha, due to the approximation to simple string length ratios, I- and it is interesting to note that the nomenclatures of Shuddha Sthanas, Shuddha Swaras, have evolved during this period, and the Shuddha Swaras of Hridaya Prakasha corresponding to the modern Kapitat. In Chaturdandi Prakashika, it refers to the modern Mela Kanakangi. In present day Hindustani music, the Shuddha Swaras corresponding to the Bilawal That. With respect to the modern Veena, Jayashree Prasad and Raghavendra Rao interviewed several prominent Veena makers, and the tuning scheme from S. Ramanathan, Veena maker from Trichy, is given below. The fret position of radial electronic Veena were measured as given below. From this, it is evident that the radial electronic Veena uses an equal tempered scale. So,
So if we compare the pitch positions between the four references, one is Hriday Prakasha, Chaturdandi Prakashika, the modern electronic veena, and the traditional uh, handcrafted veena that we use today, we find that the pitch positions are matching to a large extent and within around 1% in most cases. So the findings what we have is that the fretting descriptions using string lengths in Hriday Prakashas, they used simplified frequency ratios which lead to an approximation of the pitch position. So when we are referring to texts like Hriday Prakasha, we must be a little cautious that it is not the exact pitch position which he says, but an approximation. The second one is the concept of Samvaditva and cycle of fifths and fourths have been in vogue since medieval times. Present day Veena makers still rely on using these concepts. The exact sequence of fretting, so whether they start with Pa and go to Re and so on, is varying as per the respective tradition of the Veena makers. Now, present day traditional Veena makers do not measure the fret distances, nor do they use frequency meters. Rather, they determine the final fret position by listening to the sound. This is very interesting. So even though we have easy availability of frequency meters, they actually prefer to listen to the sound rather than use any kind of measurement. Now the equal tempered scales seen in radial electronic veena is understandable because it's quite useful to play this veena together with other instruments like keyboard, which are tuned to equal temperament. Now the pitch positions in CDP varies from the fretting in radial by less than 0.5% in most cases. Now this is quite insightful because it means that in the last 300 years, the pitch positions have not changed much. And therefore, in a way, the hypothesis that the Swarasthanas of the 17th century must have sounded quite different from the present day Karnataka music is therefore repudiated. The reason could be that the pitch perception is a psychoacoustic phenomenon. So it's not given to artistic evolution. So for example, the fifth interval, which sounds euphonic, has always been in the ratio of around 3 by 2, 1.5 times. And that is a psychoacoustic phenomenon and doesn't change with time. Now the stability of pitch positions as validated in the study opens new opportunities for reconstruction of pitch positions in the medieval period based on the fundamentals of physics and psychoacoustics. So this is what we would conclude from the study that we have done. We have referred to Bhatkande's Satyanarayana and many others in the course of our study. So that completes our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
thank you very much.
Thank you so
And
much.
we're very happy to answer any questions if you have.
Really, it was very much informative presentation. Thank you so much. Next, anyone is there who has not given the presentation? Who have not given?
I'm ready, ma'am.
Shilpa Shashidhar.
Divyashree Pisapati.
Sorry?
I'm Divyashree Pisapati. I'm ready, ma'am.
My name is Shilpa Shashidhar. I am also ready, ma'am.
Shilpa, you are in?
Yes, Shilpa Shashidhar. Yes.
Okay, you go ahead with the presentation.
Who, ma'am? Shilpa. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Shilpa,
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to share the
your
screen.
name is not in the session. In this morning
Yes,
session.
ma'am. My name was not mentioned in any of the online presentations.
Okay.
Um,
Then. Okay, okay. You can join. Okay, 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 okay. Please, please, Shilpa, please, Shilpa. Hello, Shilpa.
Shilpa, please go ahead with your presentation. If you are there. Okay. Anyone left, please?
Ma'am, I'm Divyashri Pisupati. I'm also.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Dr. Shalini Thakur.
Shalini Thakur. Yes, yes.
जी, मैं इस लिंक पर पेपर प्रेजेंट कर सकती हूँ क्या?
Yes, yes.
अभी दे सकते हैं या थोड़ी देर बाद? Hello.
Please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Just a minute. तो मैं हिंदी में बोल रही हूँ. मेरा जो टॉपिक है वो है शास्त्रीय संगीत प्रदर्शन कला और नई शिक्षा नीति. भारतीय संगीत शास्त्र और भारतीय संगीत शास्त्र प्रदर्शन कला नई शिक्षा नीति. तो भारतीय संगीत शास्त्र प्रदर्शन कला और भारतीय संस्कृति के महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ हैं. नई शिक्षा नीति 2020 इस दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है. एक सकारात्मक कदम है जो भारतीय कला को प्रोत्साहित करने और उसके संरक्षण में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाएगी. भारत एक सांस्कृतिक धरोहर से समृद्ध देश है जहां संगीत, नृत्य और कला का विस्तृत और समृद्ध इतिहास है. भारतीय संगीत शास्त्र प्रदर्शन कला हमारे समाज और संस्कृति का अभिन्न अंग है. जिनका विकास तथा प्रचार प्रसार सदियों से होता चला आ रहा है. ये भारतीय समाज की पहचान का हिस्सा बन चुकी है. हाल ही में भारत सरकार ने नई शिक्षा नीति 2020 लागू की है जो भारतीय कला और संस्कृति के संरक्षण, समृद्धि और प्रोत्साहन के लिए महत्वपूर्ण साबित हो रही है. भारतीय संगीत शास्त्र में राग, ताल और स्वर का बहुत अधिक महत्व है. भारतीय संगीत को मुख्यतः शास्त्रीय संगीत, उत्तर भारतीय तथा हिंदुस्तानी संगीत एवं दक्षिण भारतीय तथा कर्नाटक संगीत इन दो भागों में वर्गीकृत किया जाता है. लेकिन भारतीय संगीत का प्रभाव लोक संगीत, भजन, गजल, गीत तथा फिल्म संगीत तक भी फैला हुआ है. शास्त्रीय संगीत के विभिन्न रूप जैसे घराना, राग और विभिन्न गायन शैलियाँ भारतीय संगीत की महानता को दर्शाते हैं. नई शिक्षा नीति 2020 का उद्देश्य शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में सुधार लाना है. इस नीति में विशेष ध्यान दिया गया है भारतीय कला और संस्कृति को बच्चों और युवाओं की शिक्षा में सम्मिलित करना। नई शिक्षा नीति के तहत कला और शिक्षा को महत्वपूर्ण स्थान देने का उद्देश्य विद्यार्थियों में रचनात्मक सोच और कला के प्रति प्रेम को बढ़ावा देना है। ये छात्र तथा छात्राओं को न केवल संगीत तथा नृत्य में दक्ष बनाएगा, बल्कि उन्हें भारतीय संस्कृति से जुड़ने का शुभ अवसर प्रदान करेगा। शुभ अवसर प्रदान। इस नीति का यदि सही तरीके से पालन किया जाए तो आने वाली पीढ़ियां भारतीय संगीत, नृत्य और अन्य प्रदर्शन कलाओं में जुड़ने का प्रयास करेंगी। और इसे वैश्विक स्तर पर भी बहुत अत्यधिक सम्मान मिलेगा।
Shalini, please come with the findings, please. Findings and conclusions, please. Thank you.
भारतीय संगीत शास्त्र और प्रदर्शन कला भारतीय संस्कृति के अद्वितीय और गहरे पहलुओं को प्रदर्शित करते हैं। ये शास्त्र न केवल ध्वनि और लय के विज्ञान है, बल्कि भारतीय जीवन दर्शन तथा आध्यात्मिकता के भी प्रतीक है। भारतीय संगीत के विविध रूप और शास्त्रीय नृत्य शैलियाँ न केवल मनोरंजन का साधन है, अपितु वे सामाजिक, धार्मिक एवं सांस्कृतिक जीवन का अभिन्न अंग भी हैं। भारतीय नई शिक्षा नीति NEP 2020 का एक महत्वपूर्ण उद्देश्य यह भी है कि भारतीय संस्कृति धरोहर को संरक्षण करने और उसे अगली पीढ़ी तक पहुंचाने का एक महत्वपूर्ण कार्य कर रही है। थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू सो मच मैम, मेरा हो गया।
Thank you so much. Next, I would like to VS. Name VS is there.
I'm Kasturi Sarkar, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Namaste. I'm Kasturi Sarkar from Tiruchirappalli. I'm very glad and feeling privileged to present here in this ICIMPA second day. I thank my guide, my guru, Dr. Uma Maheshwari and Dr. Vishakha Goswami ma'am, coordinator ma'am, and the dignitaries here to give me this opportunity to present here. Thank you. Sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Your screen is not visible now.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Yes. Share your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute.
Yeah. Kasturi, you just start your presentation.
Ma'am,
Meanwhile, you
I'm not
try.
able to share. Just a minute.
No issue. You just start your presentation. Meanwhile, you try to share the PPT, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I am here to present the thematic compositions of the Carnatic music composer Papnasam Shivan. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Now visible it.
Yeah. So Papnasam Shivan is one of the prominent 20th century composer who is known for his thematic composition. He has the thematic diversity in his composition is very prominent. He's very popular for that. Okay. One minute. Just a minute. பிபிடி எங்க இருக்கு? பிபிடி வந்து இதுல இருக்கு. ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டேன். கொடுத்துட்டேன்.
Kasturi, आप please अपने presentation, do your presentation. Don't worry about the PPT. We are here to resolve your PPT issue, so don't worry. Just is right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
Okay, so Carnatic music, which is one of the oldest and most structured classical music tradition of South India, the compositions are a blend of melody, raga, rhythm, tala, and the text, the sahityam. So these all they blend to create a holistic expression. So this presentation is about the musicological aspect of sahitya in the lyrical compositions of Papnasam Shivan, composer. So Papnasam Shivan, as already said, is popular for his compositions which brought out emotive and philosophical depth both lyrically and musically by selecting the apt raga. So he has composed more than 500 kritis, over 800 film songs. Some are mostly in Tamil and Sanskrit, and a few Manipravalam compositions. Manipravalam compositions where there are multi languages in the same composition. So his compositions are celebrated for their simplicity, grace, and emotional depth. So this is an overview of the thematic diversity in his compositions. So the first theme we have devotional theme, we have philosophy, we have tribute, we have greatness of Tamil language, we have patriotism. There are many other themes also, but here I have just focused on these 5. It's just an overview of this. So we have several musical forms in Carnatic music like the Varnams, Padavarnams, Kritis, Ragamalikas, Padams and Tilanas. He has composed many such musical forms. So here I am focusing about the theme. The first theme is devotional, where different shades of bhakti we can see. Devotion means bhakti, essence of bhakti in everyday life conveying different shades of bhakti, relationship with the Parabrahma. So this is one of the shade, one of the aspects of bhakti, where the relationship of us human being with the Parabrahman is there. He has found out that he has given in his composition. One of the composition is it's in Kapi Ragam. என்னத்தவம் செய்தனை யசோதா எங்கும் நிறை பரபிரம்மம் அம்மா என்றழைக்க. So it means He's asking, he is amazed, he's asking Yashoda Devi, what great penance you did, Yashoda, to make the Parabrahmam, who is everywhere, call you as mother. So he's out of excitement, he's asking, out of amazement, he's asking if what great penance she has done to be his mother, to be his mother. ஈரேழு புவனங்கள் படைத்தவனை கையிலேந்தி சீராட்டி பாலூட்டி தாலாட்ட நீ என்ன தவம் செய்தனை. So, as the meaning says, it's in the Anupallavi, it says to hold the creator of the 14 worlds. Irelu is 14, Bhuvanangal means worlds, in your hand, hug him, feed him. To do all this, what great penance she has done. So, this is one of the aspects of bhakti that he has said, composed. The next is the theme, devotional itself. It's another way of this Shringara Bhava. Shringara Bhava, where the Lord Muruga, Lord Subramanya, or Lord Kartik, as we say in North India, is addressed as beloved, suitable for dance performance also. So this is one such composition where the Padavarnam Swami ni manamirangi arulvaay ta. So here Lord Muruga or Lord Subramanya, Lord Kartik, he is been addressed as beloved, and the heroine, she is suffering, thinking of him, yearning of him. So it says, oh Lord, please have mercy and bless. It is like the heroine, the Nayika's friend, she is telling the Lord Muruga, she is telling Lord Muruga to come and bless her so that she doesn't suffer, so that her friend doesn't suffer, the Nayika doesn't suffer. So this is one part of Shringara Bhava he is given. This is also taken for Abhinaya. Another thing is the next devotional theme, another way, is he is addressing God, saying that he doesn't to offer the boon of no birth. Hello? Hello? Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes.
I can't hear.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay, am I done?
Yes. Apurva, are you there? Apurva Vishwas?
Yeah, ma'am.
Please go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Apurva, can you please just...
Screen share হয়েছে?
We can see your presentation. Please summarize it in 5 minutes. Just because we are learning late. So after that we'll have tea break. Thank you so much. Just go ahead with the presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. My topic, Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh's significant contribution to the tabla promotion, expansion and popularization in Kolkata. And introduction to Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh. Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh, a legendary tabla maestro, made an indelible mark in 20th century Indian classical music. He mastered the tabla infinite rhythms and tonal beauty through years of relentless practice and exploration. His dedication to the art form shaped his career, earning him recognition one of the greatest tabla maestro of his time. Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh tabla discipline, early training began tabla training it at the age of under Tony Babu, studied under Azim Khan and Murshid Khan of the Lucknow and Farokbad Gharana. Deep devotion to learning, mastered rhythm cycle, laya and tabla bowl. Dedicated daily practice and research to enhance his understanding and technique. Respect of gurus, adhered to his guru's teaching, maintained discipline and respect. Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh, as a tabla virtuoso fusion of gharanas, combined the Farokbad, Lucknow and Punjab gharanas in his style, creating a unique and dynamic sound. Distinctive future of his playing, bowl and bani, accurate pronunciation of syllabus, excellent control over tal and loya, deep understanding of rhythm cycle, composition in various tals, tin tal, dadra, Chaptal, Kaharba, Rupaktal. Collaboration with United Musician, worked with our artist Ustad Alekbar Khan, Pandit Ravi Shankar, Pandit Jasraj. Uh, Teaching methodology, Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh was not only master but also meticulous teacher. His approaches to teaching was rigorous, his routine and his interest both theoretical and practical aspect of music. Key fusion of his teaching, fusion of Gharana. He combined elements of Farquad, Lucknow and Punjab Gharana in his lesson, enriching his discipline playing style. Strict discipline, Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh believed a long hours of practice, ensuring his student development, a deep understanding of rhythm and clarity in their playing. Innovation methodology, his approaches to teaching tabla integrated various percussion instruments, encouraging students to explore rhythm in your ensemble setting, percussion ensemble. Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh was a pioneer, is the integrated different percussion instrument, tabla, pakhosam, mridangam, and other into a cohesive ensemble. Tabla as a solo instrument, he elevated tabla from beginning merely a accompanying instrument to a slow art form with composition that continue to be influential in tabla training today. Distinctive fusion of his playing style, percussion in bowl and bane, his tabla bowl was essayed with flowing accessory, smooth and vibrant rhythmic patterns, control of tal and loya. His necessary work, complex rhythm and tempo, essentially in tintal, rupaktal and chaptal, was unmatched. Versatility in presentation, he creative innovation composition in phrases tal, demonstrating his creativity and command over the instrument. Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh contributes as a tabla maestro. Innovation in tabla playing, creating a new composition and popularization slow tabla performance, established tabla as a slow instrument, not just accompaniment. Rule in Drupad and Khyal, enhanced tabla rule in vocal and dance tradition, essentially in Drupad and Khyal. Sound assignment, his exploration of tabla tonal quality led to the development of distinctive sound techniques, contributing to the aesthetic depth of the tabla playing. Ensemble performance first to the form percussion ensemble, combining tabla, pakhwas, mridangam, and other instruments. Contribution as a writer and music theorist, writing author influential work such as Tajima Moshik, offering insights into the history and evolution of music. Research focus studied tal structure, sound variation, and tabla's relationship with other musical forms. Music theory provided a theoretical framework for tabla, interesting the study of rhythm in Indian classical music. Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh is a patron of musician, mentorship and supported guidance urging tabla players and musicians. He was music director at All India Radio, Kolkata and Doordarshan, where he helped elevate the prominence of classical music, created opportunities for young artists to perform uh, at All India Radio and other platforms. Notable students, 10 musicians like Pandit Kanai Datta, Pandit Nikhil Ghosh, Pandit Shankar Ghosh, and Pandit Anindya Chatterjee, and many others. Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh, music organizer and mentor, training centers and workshop. He founded music workshop and training centers now nurture to young talent, ensuring that his legacy live on through the next generation of the tabla players. Music competition and festival. Pandit Ghosh organized tabla and percussion festivals, bring together artists from various percussion tradition and
Apurva,
promoting.
please conclude with your presentation, please. We are in
The
a
assemble
yeah.
format.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Just conclusion, ma'am.
Thank
I
you
just
so
present.
much. Actually, as we are running very late, so I am requesting you. So next,
Thank you,
Shilpa,
ma'am.
please come with your presentation within 5 minutes, please, Shilpa, if you are there.
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Please.
Shall I start?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Ma'am, I'm not able to share my screen. I will just go ahead with the presentation. Is that okay?
Better, please.
Yes, ma'am. So my good afternoon to all the panel members and scholars present there. My topic here is Indian philosophical concepts in the compositions of saint composers. My name is Shilpa Sheshidhar. I am a PhD scholar in Jain University, Bangalore. My guide is Dr. Uma Kumar. So the objectives of this presentation is to highlight the Indian philosophical concepts embedded in the compositions of saint composers. Now, why should we draw our attention to that aspect? Because saint composers are those composers who have who had in-depth knowledge of the Indian philosophical concepts and had adopted these teachings in their daily lives, had practiced it and attained mukti or salvation or self-realization, as we understand, which is the highest purpose of human life. They have strongly lived by it and they have experienced it. Hence, their compositions becomes an important study aspect. Also, to establish that the higher purpose of Indian music is to lead the practitioner towards this self-realization or true enlightenment. Now, there are concepts of Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, Vedanta, all embedded in the compositions of these saint composers. Now, who the saint composers that I have chosen for this presentation is Sri Tyagaraja, Purandaradasa, Muthuswami Dikshitar, Sadashiva Brahmendra, and they are, for this presentation, they are the composers that have been chosen. Their compositions are replete with prosody and musical ideas. Most importantly, they deployed music effectively to inculcate philosophical ideas in the minds of the listeners. That was their main purpose. Now, coming to Sankhya philosophy, very briefly saying the concept of Prakriti and Purusha here. Prakriti, according to Shaiva and Shakta traditions, Purusha is Shiva, Prakriti is Shakti, the 36 tattvas, and the role of the Trigunas, that is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, leading and explaining the whole process of creation. So, going to the next point, all the compositions referring to the Sankhya concept. So, Muthuswami Dikshitar in his Kriti, Sri Ganeshatparam in Ardhadadeshi says, Shivadi Shattrimshat Tattva Swarupino. He praises Ganesha as the very embodiment of these 36 tattvas. And in Sri Tyagaraja, in his Kriti, Manasa Etulortune, he says, Kalilo Rajasa Tamasa Gunamulavarga Galavari Chelimi. And this is at a metaphysical level and at the macrocosm level also it can be applied, and also at the microcosm or the individualistic level also the Trigunas and the entire thought process can be explained, and this is what Tyagaraja intends to do here, where the control of the mind becomes very important. And the next one is the yoga concept. In according to yoga, yoga is described as Chitta Vritti Nirodha according to Patanjali, and the control of mind becomes very important here in the yoga concept. And the 4 paths to yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and these composers, saint composers, have also introduced the Nada Yoga, where Nada is considered as a definite means to attain salvation. Now, compositions referring to yoga in Muthuswami Dikshitar's Neelambari Kriti, Siddhishwaraya, it says, Karma Jnana Yoga Sakshatkaraya. He describes Lord Shiva as the one who is adept with this knowledge of karma and jnana yoga, and there are many such examples. I'm not going through all of them. So Sadashiva Brahmendra says the Bruhi Mukundeti Rasana. Here the compositions which highlight the bhakti yoga. And then Tyagaraja Swami in his Swararaga Sudha Kriti in Shankarabharana says Mooladharaja Nada Merugata Mudamagu Mokshamura. He says you listen to the Nada emanating from the Mooladhara Chakra, and such people will definitely attain moksha. These are all the concepts of yoga that have been brought about in the compositions. Next, going to the concept of Vedanta. There are several concepts of Vedanta such as the Advaita Tattva, the Triputi Tattva, the Ajapa Japa or the Hamsa Japa, and then the Agama Shastras, the Sri Vidya concept, then the Nada, which is worshipped as the Shabda Brahma, the cause of creation, Shabda Brahma, and then the Mukti, Moksha, all these concepts have been coming in, referred to in several of their compositions. I will just go through a few of them. Tyagaraja Dhanyam in Darbar says, Dvitvadi Bhedakartana Paramadvaita Swatmananda Rupino. So, and in another, the concept of Bimba Pratibimba Vada, that is also brought out in Sri Kamalamba Navavarna Kriti, where he says, Chit Bimba Pratibimbendu Bimba. He describes Lord Kamalambike as Chit Bimba Pratibimbendu Bimba. And then Sadashiva Brahmendra, a composition,
Shilpa,
it says
Shilpa,
Sarva. Yes.
Shilpa, please conclude your paper presentation.
Yes. Okay. So several Vedantic concepts such as Panchakosha, Shariratraya, Avastatraya, Triputi, all these have been brought out in the compositions. The conclusion is that the saint composers had in-depth knowledge of our philosophy and texts. They had adopted these teachings in their lives for self-realization. Their compositions have stood the test of time and remained relevant in many, even after many centuries. Their compositions reveal philosophical concepts in a simple way for the benefit of common man. Their life study reveals that they employed music to attain the higher experiences and higher states of self-realization. They were all basically great yogis and have proved the greatness of Indian philosophy.
Shilpa, please. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity.
All of you had wonderful presentation. I know that it has taken so much of time and you all heard well prepared and presented very well. I'm thankful to all of you.
Ma'am, I still have to go, ma'am. I still have my presentation.
Your name is, what is your name, ma'am? Please.
It is in the list, ma'am.
What's your name, please? We are not finding you in the list of the name.
Divyashri Pisupati and Dr. Vijay Subhalasubramanian.
Hello. Hello, Divarshi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, can you please present your paper in 5 minutes? We are running out of time. Okay?
Sure, ma'am.
Please just make it very concise. Okay, thank you.
Sure, ma'am. I'll do that.
नमस्ते मैडम, मैं रोहिणी भट्ट कर्नाटका से बोल रही हूँ. मेरा संस्कृत में है, मैं इधर ही प्रेजेंट कर सकती हूँ क्या?
Please go ahead with your presentation, please. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. I hope you can see my screen.
If your presentation is not there online, if you're not able to keep the PPT, no issue. Just go ahead with your presentation, please.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Divyashri Pisupati, and I'm incredibly excited to be here today to speak about a topic that is very close to my heart, music through micless auditoriums with special reference to Carnatic music. As someone who has always been deeply moved by the power of music, I've come to appreciate how the setting in which it's performed can elevate the experience. The traditions of Carnatic music in particular have always fascinated me, especially when it comes to the intimate and unmediated experience offered by micless auditoriums. Imagine stepping into a grand hall where the sound of music fills the air with incredible clarity and richness. No microphones, no speakers, just the pure, unaltered tones of a performance echoing naturally throughout the space. This is the magic of micless auditoriums, a vital element of Carnatic music's cultural heritage. Today, I want to take you on a journey through tradition of Carnatic music and explore the significance of micless auditoriums in preserving the authenticity and intimacy of this art form. Let's take a closer look at the key objectives for the study. Traditionally, Carnatic music performances relied on natural acoustics in temples and sabhas, Unlike the modern halls now that use microphones, these spaces were designed to carry sound naturally through high ceilings or stone surfaces and open layouts. Performing without a microphone means artists must rely entirely on their natural voice and instrument techniques. Vocalists will probably need a strong breath control, resonance, and dynamic modulation, while instrumentalists like Veena and Mridangam players might adjust their playing techniques to project sound clearly. And one of the most unique aspects of Michaelis auditoriums is the intimate connection between the artist and the audience. Without microphones, performers rely on eye contact, facial expressions, and physical gestures to engage the listeners. Let's look at the scope of the study. We know Carnatic music is not just about the melody, it's also about the depth, clarity, and connection. Like I've mentioned earlier, Michaelis auditoriums, the artists rely entirely on their voice and their skill to fill the space with sound. Before microphones, music thrived in traditional venues like temples, royal courts, and sabhas, where the architecture itself became an amplifier. In today's world, though, microphones and speakers have changed the way we hear music, but have they really enhanced or diluted it? Well, this study compares Michaelis concerts with amplified performances, exploring how microphones can sometimes, flatten the natural dynamics of Carnatic music. Coming to the methodology for the study, uh, we begin by exploring the science behind the natural echoes, as in how the sound travels, reflects, and resonates in different environments. The key references I've used for the acoustic research is acoustic principles in auditoriums and temple halls known for their rich acoustics. I have some really interesting insights from a survey on the audience's experience with Michael's auditoriums. Interestingly, if you look at the slide, about 70% of the respondents had attended at least one Michael's concert, and when it comes to the sound quality, nearly 50 and above percentage of the respondents have experienced a balanced mix of vocals and instruments, but some also noted that clarity depended on seating and the hall's acoustics. Uh, well, like I mentioned, seating also made a difference. Those near the stage had a better experience, while those at the back sometimes struggled to catch the finer details. So while Michaelis concerts offer a raw and authentic musical experience, it's also clear that factors like venue acoustics and seating play a big role in shaping the overall experience. Now, let's explore the key findings from the study on Michaelis auditoriums. Traditional venues were designed to enhance natural resonance with high ceilings.
Divashri, please conclude.
Yes,
Please conclude your
yeah, sure.
your presentation. Okay.
Yeah, to conclude, I would like to mention few key takeaways. Like Carnatic music has thrived for centuries in naturally resonant spaces where the acoustics were carefully designed to enhance sound without microphones.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you so much, all of you. Hello.
Huh, uh, all the presentations are unique, and most of them are very nice, and I can find many things hidden in your presentation, and I hope after publication we will get more informations in your write-ups. Okay, thank you. This is the time of tea break. Okay, we will.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am. Ma'am, please, am I audible?
Who are you? You are audible. Yeah, please tell us.
Dr. Moushumi Pal. Ma'am, when I will get chance to present my paper?
Excuse me, ma'am, but actually we are taking a tea break right now. So you
Okay.
have to wait until the post-lunch session. It is a special request from our side as we are running a little bit late. So we have to rearrange our sessions accordingly. Please stay with us. After this post-lunch session, we will start at 3:15. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
The audience, ladies and gentlemen, it is a time to take a little break, and our first academic session, technical session 2, is finished right now, and we are taking the opportunity to welcome our guests, today's guests, Professor Konkona Mitro from the Vocal Music Department, Rabindra Bharati University, head of the department, and Professor Vishnu Padananda, head of the Department Education, Jadavpur University. I request my happy to help group members to please come, and I request Professor Sanjay Bandopadhyay sir to please come once to little bit help in our Boron Porbo. Professor Konkona Mitro, head of the department, our lovely ma'am, very close to our heart, and she is really like a good friend, good philosopher, and admirer of ICIMPA. We are very pleased to welcome you, ma'am. আপনাকে বরণ করতে পেরে আমরা সত্যি খুব খুশি। থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাম, আপনি প্রত্যেকবার আমাদের সাথে থাকুন সব সময়, আমরা খুব খুশি। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ফর ইয়োর গিভিং ইয়োর টাইম। উনি সকালে এসেছেন, অনেক সকালে ম্যাম এসে সেশন আমাদের কমপ্লিট করেছেন। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ, থ্যাংক ইউ। আর এখন রয়েছেন আমাদের প্রফেসর বিষ্ণু পদনন্দ স্যার। Sanjay sir, please come once more. Please don't go away. You are since yesterday we are just missing you time and again. So please come, the happy to help group members, and we take the opportunity to welcome Professor Vishnu Padananda. আমি সঞ্জয় বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় স্যারকে অনুরোধ করব যে আমাদের বিষ্ণুপদ স্যারকে উনি একটু বরণ করে নিন, অভ্যর্থনা জানান। ফর্মাল ওয়েলকাম। প্রফেসর বিষ্ণু পদনন্দ, ডিপার্টমেন্ট অফ এডুকেশন, যাদবপুর ইউনিভার্সিটি। উনি এসেছেন সকালে, এসে আমাদের আজকের প্রথম সেশনটি উদ্ধার করে দিয়েছেন দুজনে, বেশ কয়েকজন মিলে। আমাদের কালকের থেকে ম্যাম রয়েছেন, বিলম্বিতা ম্যাম, অনেক হেল্প করেছেন, ম্যাডামের মধুর ব্যবহার, আমরা খুব অভিভূত। থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ, থ্যাংক ইউ। আমরা 5 মিনিটের ব্রেক নিচ্ছি, ফিরে আসবো আমাদের নেক্সট সেশন, একটা ওয়ার্কশপ, রুদ্রবীণার উপরে ওয়ার্কশপ করবেন। আমাদের মধ্যে এসে পৌঁছেছেন জার্মান স্কলার এবং রুদ্রবীণা প্লেয়ার কার্স্টন উইকে, এবং তার সাথে রয়েছেন অন্যান্য অ্যাকম্পানিস্ট সহযোগীরা। একটু স্টেজটি আমি বলবো যে আমাদের যারা টেকনিক্যাল সাইডে আছেন আর যারা ডেকোরেটিং আছেন তারা একটু হেল্প করুন স্টেজটাকে একটু তৈরি করে নিতে। আমরা এই ব্রেকটা নিচ্ছি, সেই সময়ের মধ্যে আপনারা একটু চা পানের জন্য যেতে পারেন বা একটু ফ্রেশ হয়ে নিতে পারেন। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।